Is it happening? I think it is. We are going live in the Kellie kitchen. Thank you for joining me. We're going to have some food, some health, and some fun. I have so much to share with you. Super excited. Tomorrow, I am going to be on the Hallmark Channel. Actually, we're taping tomorrow. I'm taping tomorrow on the Hallmark Channel. It's a show called Home and Family, and I'm going to be doing a cooking segment, and I'm so excited to share that with you guys. I'll tell you more about the show a little bit later, but I want to get started on this lemon loaf because it does take 45 minutes in the oven, and I want to see if we can get it done and pull it out before we're done tonight. I posted this recipe a couple of days ago. It's an older recipe. It's for my low carb lemon pound cake. Hi, Atsuko. I posted it and it just went sort of berserk. People, tons of questions, loving it, sharing it. And so anyways, I wanted to get started on it. It's a super easy, I almost sort of like dump everything into the bowl. It goes into a loaf pan. You can put the frosting on it or not. I have 5 fresh eggs, and they are, I don't know if you can see in there, but they're pasture raised, super, super fresh. So they're, I am all better. It was a crazy 10 days of a flu. It was horrendous, but I am better. And I still have a little twinge of it, but I'm so much better, thank goodness. Hi, Marie. So I was just saying that I have super fresh eggs, and the yolks are so yellow, and actually that helps make this cake even more yellow because I don't add any food coloring to it at all. So I've got 5 super fresh eggs, and I've got my Lecanto monk fruit sweetener, which is a blend of monk fruit and erythritol. I get a lot of questions about that. People asking like, oh, do I have to use monk fruit? Monk fruit is an extract. You just need a tiny, tiny bit when somebody calls for only monk fruit. This recipe calls for a blend, and the brand I use is called Lecanto monk fruit sweetener, which is a little bit misleading because it's a mix of monk fruit and erythritol. You need the bulk of the erythritol. So this is 3/4 cup of the monk fruit sweetener by brand Lecanto, and I did not powder it. It's just granular, and I'm just going to get this nice and frothy. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of lemon juice. This is fresh lemon juice. A friend of mine is super into these Meyer lemons. They're super juicy. I only needed 1.5 Meyer lemons to get me all this juice. We're going to add that in. We're going to add 1/2 cup of melted butter. We'll get that going. We're going to add a tablespoon of our lemon extract, and we'll get that in there. I also use a combo of almond flour and coconut flour. And so people have asked, oh, do I have to use the almond flour, or can I not use the coconut flour? I use them for a very specific reason. The coconut flour is very dry and absorbent, so you can't sub them out one for the other. I suppose if you didn't want to use coconut flour, you could use psyllium husk, because that has a fiber, or you could even use unflavored protein powder. I'm totally fine with that. But you don't want to use all almond flour or all coconut flour. Okay, so we've got all of our wet ingredients together. I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of my coconut flour, and then 2 cups of my almond flour. We'll just whisk this all together. See, I mean, this is kind of like a dump cake. You just sort of dump it in here. Who's joined me? Let's take a look. Hi, Jerry. We were just talking about you this morning. I hope you had fun with Peter today. I think you went for coffee with him or something. Let me know how the lovely Leslie is. We must get together. Okay, so there's my 1/4 cup of coconut flour. I'm going to do 2 cups of almond flour, and then 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And then this is ready to go into the oven. I've prepared that's 2 cups of almond flour. I prepared a loaf pan with just a piece of parchment paper, and the batter is going to look a little bit dry. Don't worry, it comes out super moist, I promise. Let me get a tablespoon here. So I'm going to do a tablespoon of the baking powder. The baking powder really does a great job of making your loaf rise. So we'll put a tablespoon of that in, and we're almost ready to throw this in. This is a really great alternative for a low carb or keto breakfast. As you guys all know, I'm a huge fan of intermittent fasting, so I hardly ever eat breakfast. But I know a lot of people, they just want that morning something, and they're kind of sick of eggs. So this lemon loaf is a great alternative. Okay, so there's my lemon loaf batter. See, it's super nice and yellow. And I'm going to get that right into my loaf pan. And we're going to pop that into a 350-degree oven we'll put it in for 40 minutes, and then we'll test it. And then, but it should be, 45. And then we let it cool completely before we put the frosting on. Okay, so can you guys see it's a little bit thick? So we're just gonna spread this out, get it into all the corners, and make sure that the paper doesn't get in the way. And that is ready to go into the oven. There we go. 350 we're going to try 40 minutes. It's usually about 45. Everybody's oven is a little bit different. So test it for doneness at, 30 to 40 minutes. You just stick a little toothpick in there, and if it comes out clean, you can take it out and let it start cooling. Okay, so I just did that one for 40 minutes. And let that do its thing. You guys, I tried Fresh Brothers Keto Pizza today. It's getting a thumbs up because I super, super loved it. I love the fact that it was easy. I'm going to get this going while I'm telling you this. This is my beef soup. I've got some olive oil in here. I'm going to turn this on and get the oil nice and hot here before I put this stuff in. So I love the fact that it was easy. I love the fact that it's, I think it's 6 net carbs for the entire pizza plus the toppings. So I got a ton of vegetables on there. I got onions and bell peppers and olives and pepperoni. It was delicious. Probably could have been split between 2 people. I brought half of it home. But here's the rub. So expensive. $22 for a 10-inch pizza, which is kind of a deal breaker for me, but because I would love to just come home and cook my own pizza for a fraction of the price and have leftovers. But I know not everybody is going to want to be cooking in the middle of the day or whatever, and you want to go out with your friends, and you can go to places like Fresh Brothers and get this keto pizza. So it gets a thumbs up, but it is expensive. So watch out for that. I have hi Lisa. I have a half of an onion. It's like a half a cup of onion. And then I have 4 small to medium zucchinis that I've just chopped into these little tiny quarter rounds, I guess you call them. So I've got my oil nice and hot here. I'm going to get that going, and I'm going to get the zucchini in there so we can get this all to sort of start sweating together. And as soon as these vegetables start sweating a bunch, which is like, whew, I'm happening tonight. As soon as these vegetables start sweating a lot, I'm going to add in the mushrooms and get those sweating a little bit. And hi, honey. I'm glad you are watching. I hope you had a good day. Who else is there? Hi, Petra. Well, I love that you're new. Thanks for coming and watching me. We're making a beef vegetable soup right now. The lemon pound cake, the keto lemon pound cake just went in the oven, and I'm hoping that is done before we are done for the night here. So I've got my zucchini and my onions doing their thing in this pan. I'm gonna let those sweat a little bit. This vegetable beef soup, I came up with it because I'm not a big fan of vegetable soup, mostly because I don't like the green beans and the corn and all that sort of stuff and the carrots inside a vegetable soup. So these vegetables are, they're all fairly low carb. The tomatoes have a little bit more than you would typically like, but because this is one can for the whole pot of soup, it ends up being a fairly low carb soup, and it's hearty like a chili, but it's not spicy. It's a beef vegetable soup, and that's why I love it. So I've got a 28-ounce can of petite diced tomatoes. We'll put that in a little bit. I also wanted to show you, let me keep this going. Those are starting to really come together. And of course, I'm like sweating my brains out here with all this going on. And you're from Florida. Hi. Hi, Noelle. How are you? This is it's like bouillon. It's called Better Than Bouillon, and this is beef stock. And for this recipe, we are going to use you add hot water to this, and you make 2 cups of beef stock out of this. So that's going to go into the soup. But then you add an extra teaspoon. Yes, an extra teaspoon of this base, because it adds a really nice flavor. If you don't have this, you can use, regular beef stock that you make from home, or you can use the kind that come in the carton, or you can use the cubes if you want. There's no judgment. Oh yes, it is a little jar of delicious soup. It comes in roasted vegetable, chicken, roasted chicken, and beef, and I'm sure I think it comes in a vegan version, but that would not be my first choice. But we're gonna add a little bit of this. You can also probably use a little bit of Maggi, which is like it just sort of adds like an umami flavor to your soup. And it's nice. The other thing that we're gonna do that's kind of different about this this soup is that when we add the ground beef, we're not going to brown the ground beef first. We are going to add the ground beef to the liquid. And I learned a little bit about this because I wanted the beef to be more separated, not chunky, not like big hunks of browned ground beef. This is just a packet of sliced mushrooms, super easy. Just going to dump that right in there. And we're going to just keep this getting all of the vegetables sweating sort of all together. Okay, did I lose train of thought on anything? Did I miss anything so far? If you are just tuning in now, you probably didn't hear me, but I'm going to say this a couple of times because I'm super excited about this. I was asked to be on the Hallmark Channel. They have a show every day from 10 to noon. It's called Home and Family. And so I am going to be doing a cooking segment. We're taping it tomorrow. You can tune in on Wednesday. It'll be showing on Wednesday, and then a rerun on Thursday. And I'm going to be making my chocolate almond tart, sort of a Valentine's Day flair. But I will post all the details on the show to show you all. But I'm super excited, and it should be fun. I hope I can be a regular on the show. Let's see. Hi, Robin. Okay, so all of our vegetables are really sort of wilting down. I'm going to let those just kind of do their thing for a second. because I'm going to get started with our cheddar jalapeno chaffles. Now, the cheddar cheese in our chaffles, it's a little bit stickier than the mozzarella cheese that I typically use to make my chaffles. So we just cook it for a little bit longer, and we're just going to make one batch of these chaffles, so there'll be, each chaffle is a half of the batter. And in my bowl here, I have a tablespoon of almond flour, and we're going to put one egg. God, I cannot even believe. So this is a company that I use, these eggs. They're called the Happy Egg Company. They featured one of my recipes on their thing, but look at how beautiful, I don't want to spill it, but look at how beautiful that egg yolk is. It's just bright yellow. So we're going to do one egg, 1 tablespoon of almond flour. We're going to do a half of a cup of cheddar. And then, where's my knife? I have become friends with this little guy. I never used these ever in my entire life, and I am finding all sorts of ways to get these into my life. So I just very simply, I cut the seeds out in the center. I like a little spice, but not everyone does. So we're going to cut, we're just going to scrape the, do you see the seeds? That is the super spicy part, and I'm being really stupid right now because now my fingers are going to have super spicy, so I have to not touch anything. But you take all the seeds out, and then we're just going to finely chop this up and add it to our chaffles. And it actually doesn't make them too spicy. It actually is, it's a good, it's just a really good flavor and a really good little bite. We're going to add just a pinch of salt to our cheddar chaffles. And then I'm going to take my jalapeno very carefully, because that would be really silly if I chopped a finger off. Okay, so I told somebody that I dropped stuff in my show, and they were like, you should call yourself the clumsy chef. And I was like, I don't want to be known as the clumsy chef, and I, quite frankly, don't drop things that often. And if I did, none of you guys would tell, I'm sure. Anyways, we're going to chop these super fine. We're going to get them into our chaffle mix. Those will go for about 5 minutes in the waffle iron. And those will be great with our vegetable beef soup tonight. Our vegetable beef soup is not spicy at all, and our chaffles will have a little kick to them. We're going to just mix this together. It's just a super easy throw together. I think next week we're going to try and do some sweet chaffles. I've heard cinnamon roll chaffles and banana nut chaffles. So we're going to try those next week and see how those go. Okay, so there is our chaffle mixture. We're going to put half of this into our waffle maker. That is already heated up and ready to go. Put that right there in the middle. Now, the key with this, with chaffles, especially with the cheddar ones, don't open the lid until you get to at least 5 minutes, because it'll stick. So once you get to about 5 minutes, the cheese has started to get a little crunchy. So then you'll be able to pull it out. But for right now, do not look. For 5 minutes, we're going to just let that do its thing. Let's get back to our vegetable beef soup. Our vegetables are starting to really wilt together. I just want to show you what these look like. And if we have time, I'm going to make my lemon cream cheese frosting for the lemon loaf, so you can see what that looks like. It's super easy. I use it for a lot of my frostings, cakes and frostings. So if you can see, our veg is really starting to, it's wilting nicely. So we'll put that to the side. We are going to add, this is 2 cups of beef stock. Then we're going to add 1 teaspoon. We're going to add a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of the beef stock, I'm sorry, the beef base. There's a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of the beef base, and we're just gonna plop that in there. That'll add a really nice flavor to it. We're gonna add our 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes right in there. We're gonna put, this is on high because as soon as I put my beef in, wait, I forgot the salt. 2 teaspoons of salt. Whoops. As soon as I put the beef in there and kind of break it up a little bit, I am going to put the lid on and we're going to let that come to a boil. And then those will be done like pretty quickly. We're moving along on our lemon loaf. It's going well. We're going to give this a little stir. Let's get our, I ran out of beef. Can you believe it? I get so much beef, but I ran out of it. But I was able to find some grass-fed organic ground beef from just the regular supermarket and my Butcher Box, which I don't know if you guys have experienced Butcher Box before, but I absolutely love it. It's beautiful beef and pork and chicken, and they do fish and lots of bacon. And it's all grass-fed, it's all organic, it's all uncured, like no nitrates, no sugar added. And I love it because it just comes right to my door. And it actually, because you buy it in subscription, you get a discount for it. So anyways, this I run out because I use ground beef so often. So we're just going to put the ground beef right inside the liquid. If I had added the ground beef to a dry pan, then the ground beef would get brown, which you can do it that way also, but the pan is already pretty crowded with all the vegetables. So I like to do it this way just because I like the beef to be more broken, like it's just more incorporated into the soup. So I've got my ground beef in here. I'm going to just break that up a little bit. It's on high, so this baby is going to go, it's going to start boiling here pretty soon, and I am going to put the lid on, and I'm going to let it do its business. And, you know, the lemon season is in high gear right now, which is why for me, it's in high season right now. I think it's because I keep getting a bunch of Meyer lemons. But if you have any lemon recipes or lemon ideas, please let me know. I'm not sure if you guys saw my lemon blueberry fun cake. That one, the pictures are so pretty and the recipe is done. I just need to get it all onto the website for you, and it's coming, I promise, very soon. I just have very little time to do everything that I have to do just to get a recipe going. And quite frankly, I would like it to just go into the cookbook, which I am working on. Because everything is organized from my time with Get Dressed Organizing. I'm sorry, not Get Dressed Organizing, Getting It Done Organizing. I know where everything is. Okay, my beef vegetable soup is looking beautiful. That's gonna be on high. Okay, I made a big mistake and I did not set the timer for that chaffle. So we're taking matters into our own hands and we are going to make sure that it's not sticking. But if it does, it's okay. We'll just close it really quickly. It is hotter than heck in here. I've been going a million miles a minute. I'm so happy that I'm not sick anymore. It was absolute hell for 10 days. Okay. Woo, let's see if our chaffle is done. Oh, it is so perfect. It must have been 5 minutes, you guys. We'll pull this one out. Beauteous. These chaffles are so great, and I probably should have made a double batch because we'll be having this soup for lunch tomorrow. And these are great as leftovers too. Now they're not as crunchy the second day, but you certainly can put them in a toaster oven if you want at work, if you have a toaster oven. But if you microwave them, it'll heat them up, but they'll be chewy, which is totally fine too. I am completely fine with that. Okay, so somebody can time me. This is 5 minutes. We're going to just let that go for 5 minutes. Take a look at this. Who's this? Hi, Michael James. I love how you're doing. You're a real person doing real things, kind of chaotic. Love it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's totally crazy. I work a full day. I have a full-time job, and I do this to help people realize that anybody can do this. I have a little tiny kitchen, and I am fully self-taught, but it's super fun for me too. There is my cheddar. Ow, it's hot. Cheddar jalapeno chaffle. It has a nice, super nice crunch to it. And we're going to have the second one done. So we'll have 2 servings. We each get 1 serving for dinner. And these have probably about 1 gram net carb per chaffle, maybe a little bit more because I've added the jalapeno, but I'd rather that you get your carbs from a jalapeno than from a ding dong. Okay, let's just put that out there. Okay, so that is our jalapeno cheddar chaffle. Our beef soup is really it's starting to, all the beef is almost fully cooked now, and it's looking super beautiful. We'll get that out of the way. We're gonna let that simmer while we are waiting for our other stuff. I am going to, first I'm going to wash my hands because I have jalapenos all over them, but then I'm gonna make our cream cheese lemon frosting for our lemon loaf. I won't be able to frost the lemon loaf tonight for you guys to see because the lemon loaf has to be completely cooled before you frost it, because if you put this frosting on a warm loaf, it'll go splat all over the place. So I'm just going to give my fingers a quick wash to get my jalapeno fingers all taken care of. And then we'll get busy on my lemon cream cheese frosting. You can adapt this frosting any way you like. If you have something that's chocolate, then you might want to add a little bit of cocoa powder or a little bit of melted chocolate to the mix. If you have something that is just plain vanilla, then just use vanilla extract. This is room temperature butter. It probably should be a little bit softer, but I'm not going to worry about that. So that's 1/2 cup of butter, and I have 4 tablespoons of cream cheese. We go through cream cheese in this house like it's water. I use cream cheese in a lot of stuff. It adds a really nice texture. Okay, we are also going to use, this is my Lakanto monk fruit sweetener, but it's powdered. It's already been powdered, and I buy it this way. You don't have to buy it this way. You can buy the regular granular powder, and you can powder it in your coffee grinder if you want. But you really need powdered sweetener for the frosting, because when it recrystallizes, it gives it a crunchy flavor. I'm sorry, a crunchy texture when you cool it. But when you have it powdered, it doesn't get crunchy. So we'll put that in, and then I have my Meyer lemon. We'll add maybe a tablespoon or so of that. I just have to grab my hand mixer. Hand mixers, you can get these like at CVS for like $12. They're super easy. And I think I've had this one for like, I don't know, 15 years. It's pretty gross, but it gets a little bath every now and again. It's a little cleaned up. So we are going to do, so we've got a half a cup of butter. We've got 4 tablespoons of cream cheese. We're going to beat this all together, and then we're going to add, I think it's a half a cup. No, it's 1 cup of the sweetener. So we'll get busy on that. My soup is doing very well. What else is going on? Oh, I forgot. Let me tell you about this other, I think I might have told you about this other product that I use with my lemon stuff. When I don't have fresh lemons, and we all know how expensive lemons are, I use this product right here. It's called True Lemon. It comes in these little packets. You probably will never see this at a supermarket, but you can get these online, Amazon, a package of 100 packets for like $6. And 7 of these packets equals a quarter of a cup of lemon juice. And so it just adds a really nice tang of lemon, and it's just crystallized lemon. There's nothing added in this. I talked with the company about, can you give me a bigger container of this so I don't have to go through 100 packets of this to get my lemons? And they said that they can't, because they have to add, I mean, they have it made that way in a bigger container, but they have to add cornstarch to it. So it's an anti-caking mechanism, I guess is what you call it. And so unfortunately, I'm going to stick with these little packets when I don't have lemons. Fortunately, I do have lemons, and we are going to make this beautiful cream cheese frosting. And that's going to come together very nicely. Okay, so we're going to use a cup of this powdered sugar. Where's my thing? I kind of feel disorganized tonight, you guys. I'm just getting back in action after being sick for so long. I tell you, I got walloped. I hadn't been sick in almost 3 years. So this one really took me down. Really, really, really took me down. But I feel like I've got to skip in my step again. Okay, so that's a cup. We are going to, let's check our chaffle. Has it been about 5 minutes? I think so. Oh, perfect. Check it out, you guys. Ah, hot. Ah, so perfect. Right? There are our cheddar jalapeno chaffles. Those are going to be with dinner. Our beef soup. Beautiful. That is almost done. I'm going to taste it for seasoning in just a few minutes. That's probably like dinner tonight, lunch tomorrow, and then I'll probably save 2 or 3 servings in the freezer for another time. So I love to do that sort of batch cooking. I'm going to get my waffle maker out of the way. Let's get our frosting going. We're going to add, how are we doing on time? Really good timing. we'll keep this going. Okay, so now we're gonna add our lemon juice, and I like to just have this little strainer so that I get all the little mini seeds out of Meyer lemons. Meyer lemons have these little tiny seeds. Well, that one's kind of big, but these lemons are super juicy, and we're gonna add like 4 tablespoons, which is probably about 2 of these, 2 halves, a full one, a full lemon juice. We'll cut another one of those in a second. Let's just get this going. If you want to thin this out a little bit more to be more like a glaze, you can add unsweetened almond milk, or you can add a little splash of heavy cream. Just be careful, depending on how thin you want your frosting. You see right now it's pretty thick, but we want it to be more spreadable. So let's put a little bit more lemon juice. My friend brought over like a bag of Meyer lemons, and you know what she gets for bringing me a bag of Meyer lemons? She gets lemon cake. Yes, she does. And she will continue. I think the next recipe that I have to perfect for you guys is my lemon bars. They are done, but I'm not exactly 100% in love with how the recipe is written. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit, and we'll get the lemon bars, because I tell you, people go crazy. They go crazy over lemon stuff, and I do too. This is so beautiful. And I think I might add, let's taste it first. Let's taste this. See, it's coming together very nicely. It's not as thick, but wow. Really delicious. But I am going to add a little bit more lemon juice. Give it an even a little bit thinner and a little bit tangier. Our soup is pretty much done. I'm going to have to let it cool off a little bit so I can take a bite and taste it. But it's looking gorgeous. Our lemon loaf is almost done. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's definitely not going to be done for you guys. Sorry. But maybe it's got another 11 minutes on the oven there. And that's okay that it's not going to be done. I will definitely post a picture for you later so you can see what it looks like. Okay. Our lemon frosting is all done. Our lemon frosting is all done, and this is going to go really beautifully on top of our lemon loaf after it's fully cooled. I also am going to get some, somebody just said that they could hear my wind chimes in the back. I don't know if you guys know, but there were like huge winds last night. They kept us up all night long, and it's been super windy all day. I know the wind chimes are really lovely. As soon as my lemon loaf is fully cooled, it's going to get all of this cream cheese frosting on it. You don't have to put the cream cheese frosting on. It does add carbs, but it's really a nice treat. So that is super fun. Our chaffles are done. I'm just going to tell you guys one more time. If you're just tuning in now, I'm not sure if you heard me share this exciting news, but I am going to be on the Hallmark Channel. They have a show called Home and Family. It's on every day between 10 and noon, and I'm shooting my segment tomorrow. I'll be making my easy chocolate almond tart. It's keto and perfect for Valentine's Day, and so the segment will be less frenetic than this. I have a ton of people that are going to be making 4 versions of my chocolate almond tart, but we'll be shooting tomorrow on the NBC Universal lot for the Home and Family show for Hallmark. And then it's going to air on Wednesday and then rerun on Thursday. So I'll post all that information, but you know, check it out, and hopefully I won't be too silly, but I'm super excited about being able to go live on television or go be taped on television. I think it should be fun anyways. Okay, let me taste the soup, and then I think we're pretty close to being done, you guys. The soup, I'm going to show you the texture of the soup so you can see how the meat sort of falls apart, and I just love it this way. And this is a chunky vegetable soup that doesn't have any carrots in it, it doesn't have any green beans in it, and it doesn't have any corn in it or potatoes. So it still is a super chunky soup that's fairly low carb, because most of the vegetables, the zucchini has pretty low carbs, and then I only used a half a cup of the onion. So let's just do a little cup of this. Peter will be home soon for dinner, and Pipes is in the other room. So I'm going to have dinner with them tonight, but I just wanted to show you how this looks. Oh, I've got to taste it first. Let's make sure it actually tastes good. So I'm going to taste this. I wish that lemon loaf was done for you guys, so you guys could really see it. I think it's got 6 minutes left, but I really think I need to do maybe 5 more minutes, because I only put it for 40 minutes. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is to die for. I promise I'll get this recipe up very soon on the website, because it's super easy. I mean, you certainly could watch the video and you can, but I have it all written out. This is the process. I get it on Google Drive, on my Google Docs, and then I have to take pictures of it and put it in. But this soup is a winner. If you don't want chili, but you have a bunch of ground beef, this is what you want to make. And it's got a nice beefy broth. And you can see, look at how beautifully chunky that is. If you want to get it to be a little thicker, you could add a little bit of xanthan gum in it. That's a thickening agent, but don't add too much because it'll get gloppy. But anyways, this beef vegetable soup is low carb, keto friendly, and definitely on the rotation in the Kellie kitchen. We made our cheddar jalapeno chaffles. They have a super nice crunch to them. That one's mine. The lemon loaf is still in the oven. I don't want to pull it out yet, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to make it, and the frosting. I know that the dishes look a little crazy over there. There's my friend Liz from Ridgefield. She knows that I love doing dishes. Liz, can you vouch for me? I was a great dishwasher when I lived in Ridgefield, Connecticut. Those will take me about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes to wash tonight before Peter even gets home. Thank you for joining me on the Kellie Kitchen, where we have food and we have health and we have fun. Stay tuned for my Hallmark show debut, which is going to show on Wednesday. And I think that's it. Are we all done? We're all done. I will see you next week. Like and subscribe and share and tell everybody about the Kellie Kitchen, because it helps me get the word out about how easy it can be to eat low carb and keto friendly foods for you and for your family. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye. And that, and